Yo. We are back with another Inskee's Opinion, the show about everything and none at all. Where we go over today's trending topics with your gracious and humble host, Ski. So, been a little busy, man. My day job has been merging into my free time. So, it's been a little minute, but I'm on here today, so we're gonna dive right in, my people. Dive. That's how you dive. Dive right in. So, first thing first, I want to speak on 50 Cent and the counseling of BMF. I don't know if it's canceled or it's ending, it's over. So anyway, BMF, the show, is coming to an end. 50 Cent, my man, get on his trollathon. He do what he do, you know. So 50, he said, F it, you know. F it. Let me go ahead and get in on Lil Michi. He jump out there, he show a picture trolling, show a picture of Beach or whatever, like homeless with a, like he's panhandling or something on the picture, like what he gonna do now. And so he clowning him, you know, trying to make him look stupid. And I don't really think Meech needed any help making this stupid, right? So, because he does a pretty good job of it himself, you know. He does things all the time that put himself in the most ridiculous, unbelievable, highly laughable, you know, situations, man. You know, like him and the chick who was sleeping with everybody. I can't remember her name, but whatever. But she just put it on blast big time. And said something slick like about like, you know, she'll F his pops. Like it's kind of him and his pops in the apartment together. Like, man, how far we fall, right? It just sounded like Big Meech might be, you know, in bad shape, man. Like, I mean, I don't know, nobody's thinking that the man gonna come back out here and you know, take over the drug game again, or maybe stupid to go do almost 20 years or 20 years or something like that in the joint, and then, you know, overturn something that you probably wasn't even supposed to see daylight again, but able to actually be out here again in the world, you know? And but you would think that he would have something going on, you know, like some type of better business acumen, you know what I'm saying, to make that much money, you know, to be able to do all the stuff that, you know, Big Meech has done, you know, in the game. You know, how far he went there, you know, you have to have a brain, you have to have some type of smarts to do something like that, right? So you would have thought he would have came out with a better game plan, you know, it's like he thought, like, J.O. said something like, he thought that Lil Baby was supposed to give him some money, came over here, 4 pockets for you. But look, I think I'm getting off the point, but BMF, the show is over. You know, I think for the most part, you know, like first couple of seasons I think was really good. It started tapering off, I think, for me, towards the third, I don't know how many seasons it had, like the third season or whatever. Like after the second season, I kind of fell out of interest with it. Like I didn't have it. So I could kind of see it being canceled or it being over, you know, with because it had kind of ran its course. And then he's out now, so you would think that he was going, like they probably was going to expound a little bit more, and now they can transition the story to something else because he's here to tell more of what was going on, and then now what life was like from the standpoint of him in jail. Like Lil Meech could have played that out. Him going through penitentiary and how he worked his way back out, and boom, and then like now they're doing movies, you could have ended up that way, with the success story. But it's like they blew the bag on that. Like he was so much trying to get some paper real quick, but I don't know how you can really blame, I'm saying, a person who, used to having a lot, or, family used to him having a lot, and people got needs or whatever, to not make any type of money, like if somebody gonna throw you a bag, they throw a concert in your name, or a concert that's basically kind of like a fundraiser, if you ask me, like where probably everybody was gonna come together and hit his hand, but for you to promote it with Rick Ross, like how you didn't have enough sense to know not to do that, right? But that's neither here nor there. But anyway, Bill Meltzer show is done. You guys hear the news about my man Price from the Fuji? I guess he just was sentenced or whatever. I think he could do like 14 years or something like that. Don't quote me all in, but I was hearing something about he's going to jail. Price is going to jail. It's over. But all these dudes, y'all made all this money, and you find yourself in the most like peculiar. I can't pronounce it right now, but I know what I'm trying to say is like situations that they put themselves into. Like the one that I do see that most people probably would have talked bad about or thought that they would have saw them in a situation kind of like this would have been Snoop. Like somebody like a Snoop, or he always smoking weed and this and that. He messing off his money. But he seemed to be, one of the most savvy businessmen out there, I would say. And been avoiding the pitfalls of, like what the game, can do to you. Because I didn't see that for Price. The Fuji sold like 15 million records or something like that, way back, man. Before like the Ushers and all of them was doing it. Like it was the Fugees and Art Kelly and Michael Jackson and them, like they was huge. So, and I know that kind of, fell short because I think I had like an album or two or something like that, but one like that was really big was The Score. But do you think like that they would eat forever off of that? However it looked like how their situation was set up, like he was producing, writing, performing, White Club, same thing, Lauren singing, writing, they all like had like stock into creating that album and putting it out, And it didn't look like they took huge advances, what I'm saying, like on their record deal. Like they might have structured their deals pretty good, because they still eating. Lauren, as much as she go off on tangents and disappear for years at a time or whatever, she also I would say is still doing pretty good, so I'm assuming the residuals got to be great. So I don't understand. Like, I mean, he thought he was gonna, come up on some type of tech deal or something that you invested in that you thought that you was gonna make a lot of money off of, because of the people even like that's invested in the tech companies or whatever, like how they blowing up or whatever type of thing. But it was a scam, the whole time, whatever. And then he ended up getting tangled up in it, to the point of, you being convicted now. With the other dude, the big rich billionaire dude, like they did some type of scam, and he was a part of it, I can't remember exactly what it was, but whatever, it's like man, he just kind of like killed his legacy. It's not, it's just not, it just wasn't smart, I would say. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Like people, they do whatever they want to do and how they want to do it whenever they want to do it. So you gotta let people be. But going to dive again, you guys. You grab the shovel out. My opinion, shovel. For dig into the shit. No, but abstain fouls, people. So, my question is, and I want you guys to start getting down in the comments and reacting to some of these things that I'm asking you, these questions, so we can engage. I'm going to give you my opinion on what I think about what's going to happen around this, but I just want to ask you guys a question, okay? They voted on it. It passed. I think yesterday, Trump signed it into law that they have to release the files, right? But then they put loopholes in there. I'm going too fast. So, Trump signed a bill yesterday, the abstain bill, to get the files released. He had Attorney General on TV talking about it and how they're gonna roll it out, the plan that they have to roll out this, right? Excuse me. So they talking about how they're gonna put it out, and we will redact anything that will interfere with the investigations to protect the victims and all of that, right? Well, my question is to you guys is, do you guys believe that they're actually gonna release the files? Well, we know they have to release the files. What do you think that we're gonna get from these files? Do you guys think that we're gonna get the entire truth from what they released to us, which is the public? And these are unclassified files, which the man is dead. His accomplice is in jail serving 20 years. The case is over. After the case is over, all documentation should have been released to the public like every other court case is. But for some reason, this one was classified because, well, we all know why. Because of the people who may be involved or incriminating things can be brought against them in their involvement with this ring or whatever it was that Epstein had going on. But my question, like I said, is put it in the comments. Do y'all think we're gonna get the real information and they can finally put this to bed? My second question is, do you guys believe that we're going to hear some shocking things come out of these files? Or do you think that it's been a big ruse the entire time, like all of this, you think of them act, and the game and the big show that they've been putting on, going back and forth on who can, or if they're gonna release it or not release it or whatever, they release parts of it. Bondi said that she just released the 33,000 pages, documents, on the files to the DOJ, right? And Cash Patel, the FBI director, who said they had only 800 files or 300 files or something like that just 4 or 5 months ago. Like, do they, I just don't, so do you guys think that we're gonna get the information that we're looking for? Are the people who they've been protecting, are they going to be exposed? It's the second question. And that too. So hit the comment, you guys. Follow, subscribe, like, that bell for notifications on next episodes of Ensky's Opinion. But like I said, throw in the comments. Next show, I'm gonna read through the comments and I'm gonna um, read off names and everything. I give shout outs to everybody and direct people that come to my page to you guys' page to check out what y'all have going on as well. Like I said, within my community, I want it to be a share and share alike. Like we sit down having a conversation, conversing, like family members. That's what I want this to be. I want this to be like the family reunion, the family get-togethers when we do this show. So those are two questions that I have. I'm gonna be looking in the comments for those, and we're gonna discuss those on the next episode of Vince G's opinion. But like I said, I'll give you guys my opinion on what I think. In my opinion, he signed it into law, so I feel like they have to release the files, right? But I think that they're already setting it up to hide so much that what we're gonna get is not gonna be anything. It's gonna be so redacted because of these so-called investigations that they have going on. And he just asked her to investigate, all of the Democratic politicians and, liberal, legislators to go investigate them about what they had going on with Epstein within these files. So if he's saying that, then I would say that Trump is bound to I would say that he's bound to he's bound to release something, but like I said, he's gonna come up with ways to hide as much as he can. So with him, with the release situation, and she said it's 33,000 pages of documents and these files that they collected of their investigation of this case. With that much paperwork, to me, I feel like, how do you hide that much? But for some reason, I just feel like I think that they will. I think that they will hide as much as they can. I think it's gonna be so blacked out that we're gonna get bits and pieces. Like I think whole pages may be redacted. You got. So if you could say like, oh yeah, we're getting the information, that we're supposed to be getting it. It's coming out that we're gonna expose. They're exposing everything. I don't quite believe that. In my opinion, he's in there, right? And like I said, I wrote down here, Trump is in a frenzy. These files got him in a frenzy. He had to sign the bill because then he looks crazy not doing it. But the reason why he was signing the bill is because he got control of everything. They control everything right now, you guys. It's his Justice Department who's going to be doing the investigation. It's his Justice Department who's responsible for releasing these files to the public. Or if they're going to release them at all. Or do they come up with another, slick, sly way of not releasing it? So I think it's a rule, as he said, it's a hoax. I think the release of the files and the documents now is a hoax. And everybody want to say, like, oh, Trump, he's doing it because he's involved with it, or he's had it for his friends. Well, Biden was doing the same thing, you guys. He was in office for 4 years. He had more than enough time to make sure to release these files. They didn't have the House, they didn't have this and that. But the first, I think, half of his term, he did have control. or they had enough control to where they could have got it passed. And a lot of them wanted to know as well. So I don't even know how they would even, I don't think they would have blocked it. The reason why they blocked it now is because he didn't want it to be exposed. And Trump was saying that. So for them not to even bring it up for a vote when he's in office, I would have to question that, you guys, as well. Us as a country, right? We have a two-party system. A lot of people agree with it, a lot of people don't, right? I believe that it's a good thing to a certain extent. I don't know if it should just be two parties. I think we got enough ideas and enough people who got ideas that are so different that two parties can't just be what represents us as far as a country, because some people don't believe in that side and some people don't believe in this side. Some people believe in this side, some people believe in that. Some people lean a little bit in the middle. Some people lean a little bit more towards the right, but still have some left views. Some people are moving a little bit more towards the left, but still have some right views, right? So it has to be other parties in there or something else. Like, you got the independent, and it's starting to gain a little bit more momentum, but even though it is it's more than a two-party system, but it's been basically a two-party system. I think that that's the days of the old. With the stuff that's been happening as far as Trump's policies and the things that he's been doing, I think we need to change it. I think some radical things are probably about to even start happening as well. As far as, you're gonna see some more parties popping up. You're gonna see some other different type of radical ideas. Trump ideas may be, well, not maybe, they are radical, but they're radical towards the way or the ends or the means of the right? And it's somebody who's gonna come from the left. Like, that's why I just don't understand it. Like, when we do certain things, right? Or certain people do things when they're in power, right? Like the parties, what they're doing to each other right now. When the left get power again, you don't think that they're gonna use the same tactics and the same thing that you guys are doing right now on the right that's hurting them? They're gonna do the same. It's gonna be tit for tat. So it's not gonna be about the American people no more. Even though I don't think it was ever really about the American people. It's about the leaders. Who could have more power this way or who could have more power that way, right? I don't think it ever really been about us. And they got the saying, the greatest trick that the devil ever pulled was to make the world believe he didn't exist, right? Well, I got a flip side to that, and I got a saying I want to start using. The greatest trick that the U.S. government has ever played on the people was to make them think that they had a voice, a choice, and a vote to say what we will and won't be able to do in this country. You're gonna work for it, but you have no say-so in it. I think the greatest trick has been that, to make us feel like we have a choice and we are involved in participating in our political process. We don't have it. That's why it's an electoral college, right? That's why certain states with these many electorates, and this state got more electors than these, and this one got so many elected. In this state, that it's got more electors and electoral votes than 6 or 10 different states put together, right? You could say that with Texas and California, and all that. Like, now you're moving seats and they're doing all this other stuff. So you got a counterpart. That's what I said. Do you not think that the left is gonna do the same thing? Look at Gavin Newsom. You pulled the thing in Texas to get you 5 more seats. Y'all passed that, which gave him room to pass the same thing in California to get them 5 more seats. Now you're right back in the same spot. You're not gonna get the majority. Like, so it's gonna be tick for tat, right? And is that in the best interest of the people? The man is in a frenzy. You know, he's panicking. I think that he's seeing his popularity drop. He's seeing that a lot of the things that he want to actually get pushed all the way through maybe finna get stopped after these midterm elections, with them losing. Probably gonna lose the Senate and the House. And then his last 2 years, he's gonna be sitting there as a lame duck president, not able to pass or do anything. Well, in his first 2 years, he's doing so much, and he might do so much damage to where it doesn't even matter, and they might just outright steal the midterm election. So he can continue with his plan, but his popularity is waning. So we shall see. Let's stay tuned, people. Pay attention to what's going on in our country, what our elected officials is doing and saying for us, who's really representing the people, and then realize that no one really is, and we have to do it for self. Us as a people in this country, we have to make sure we build for self, right? Growing up in the projects is like a concrete jungle, right? In the jungle, it's a pecking order. It's a chain, a food chain, you know, the highest on that thing. But within that, right, it's a connection in the jungle. You know, it's a camaraderie. You become a village, you become then like a family. Because everybody needs everybody to survive. Once we all understand that, you know, we could all be chained in this link. We could all be links in this chain to keep this thing moving the way that it's supposed to be actually moving. You know, instead of going against each other and biting each other's heads off to figure out what we're gonna do and what we're supposed to do. That's my thoughts on that, you guys. That's my opinion. Like I said, I would like to hear what you guys think. What opinion that you guys have on this matter. So I'm gonna say we're gonna move on. Next topic. My man, your man, our man, Jimmy Jones. My dude is out here spiraling, you guys, right? My man Jim Jones is spiraling. He's losing control of his focus. He done let Max B discombobulate him. That he's actually doing things that's out of character, I'm gonna say, right? So, as of late, Jim Jones, an episode of Artist to Artist, this podcast, you know, where he's interviewing Dave East. And basically, you can kind of tell, if you pay attention to how things be going with them and how New York move, you can see them lining them up, you know. And they ask the questions, and you got Mano ask the questions, and he talking as like, you know, on some relatability type thing, but the whole time, he lining him up for capo. So Jones confront this man about him going to a party for Max B. Dave East trying to explain himself and explain why, you know, he ended up at the party and what was going on and how the situation even occurred, right? And how, you know, he didn't know Max, you know, he was young, you know, he was a kid with Max Love. But, you know, he heard Max music. I mean, he didn't want to outright say because of our relationship, there's no way I wouldn't come and say something to Capo. Like, that's how Mano did. He said, so then why you didn't come on me before? And not even just that, basically, Capo like, why you go? If you my homie, why would you even deal with somebody and that's what what's name said, or even be around somebody who you know I ain't gelling with? So basically, he trying to tell this man that he can't be around this dude because he don't like him. And I have a problem with that. And we cool, and if we cool, then you shouldn't be cool with him, dude. Like I said before, you are a grown ASS man. Be that. Dude, be that. You acting like a jealous, butthurt kid. And like I said, 50 years old, man. 48, 49, whatever you is, dude. This shit is ridiculous. And you, Dave East, I would have to say, as a man, bro, don't never let another grown man tell you what you should and you shouldn't be doing. Don't you ever let another grown man come to you and with another grown man sitting there lining you up about why you did what you did. You don't have to answer to nobody as a man. But this is your friend. You consider him your friend or your big homie or whatever, right? So you was compelled to explain to him what it was. But don't make it look like you was copping a plea. And you were so unaware of what they was doing to you that you didn't even catch on that Mano was lying to you. Because Jimmy already told him that you didn't call him and tell him that you was going to that party, and you didn't even call him afterwards to tell him that you went there. Or you called him after, I can't remember exactly what it was, but whatever, don't ever let another grown man come at you like that, bro. That was super disrespectful, and y'all supposed to be guys, and this your homie don't do that. Friends don't do that to other friends, right? Friends don't put their friends in their personal situations. That has nothing to do with them. And like I said before, no one died. Did Max B bang his girl? I'm starting to believe he did. I thought it was a joke. I thought Max was doing some Pac-ish. And then I don't know if Pac was lying about the fake thing because some things come out down the line that he may have been telling the truth. So did Max bang Christy? Is that the problem? You're starting to look very emotional too within these conversations in these episodes that I'm watching. He like, but I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying about what I was saying. Because I wouldn't do that to you, brother. You know, we're supposed to be, you know. No, nobody knows. What you talking about? You sound stupid and petty. A lot of these grown men out here with this, I'm petty, I'm good. Just are petty, man. Females do petty things. Children play petty games. Not grown men. I ain't gonna put grown on it. Not men. You're a male. I'm gonna have to start asking you guys to be grown. I have a new segment that I'm bringing to this show. And I'm debating on if I'm making it a part of the show or if I'm just gonna make it a spot that I do every now and then. The name of this segment or a new show. Y'all ready for the name of it, you guys? Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, please. Drum roll. Goofy of the moment. Brought to you by Enski's Opinion. Powered by at Sandre E.T. TV. Let's do it. First Goofy. First Goofy of the moment. Jim Jones. You get it, dude. You got the Goofy of the moment. This the goofiest dude right now in hip hop. You've been goofy for a minute, and I've been holding off giving you the goofy title, but you earned this. You earned this with the tactics and the things that you've been doing, This is Goofy, man. And I'm glad to see Max is not paying you any attention. Any attention. So I have a question. You came at Dave East, and that's your friend. That's your brother, your little homie. But what about your brother? That's still your brother. Y'all got into it. Y'all this and that. Y'all go back and forth, right? Are you gonna say anything to Cam? Is it gonna be any shots thrown Cam way for having Max B on Come Talk with Flea? I'll wait to see. I don't think so. In my opinion, I think that you've been bagging off of that situation. I don't think you really want those problems. So, we shall see. Tough guy. But you've been crowned the Goofy of the moment. Provided by Ski's Opinion. Hi, I'm Ski. But anyway, you got that title for the day. Like I said, I may, bring this segment in. I might pop up every now and then anyway. Like I said, go follow other pages. Go follow my Instagram at Sandre _ENT on Instagram. At Ski, SKI 79 on TikTok. Go follow the other one. I may be popping up with Goofy of the moment here and there and all over the place in between some of all these shows. Like I said, right now I'm working on History with Ski. Those episodes will be coming to you shortly. It's gonna be a whole another show, different show from Ski's Opinion. So I'm taking that segment out of this show. So it will not be any more Histories with Ski on Ski's Opinion. It's gonna have its own platform. So, like I said, got a question. So I was wondering this, and I'm gonna give y'all my opinion. This is another one. Y'all can jump down in the comments with this. So I wrote down on the paper. It says Max B's Homecoming versus Blueface Homecoming. So in this, Blueface Homecoming versus Max B's Homecoming. Everybody can see the wave is back. Everybody going crazy. Oh. And my man saying, whoa, let me say it. But you got Max B, the wave god. He's back. The world is going crazy. Max come home, French right there, wait for him, open arm, bring the man to the Jets game, take the man to Harbor nightclub, have him tear the club up, boom, welcome him home, right? Big bag, brought his kids with him, everything. 100% real dude, right? French. Gotta give him that. 100% real dude. French, welcome this man back to the world in style. Everybody been giving him props. You see Max on there everywhere. He looking clean there, clean. He looking like he picking up bags all over the place. He being really, truly celebrated. Now, I'm gonna speak on Blueface. Like I said, Max came home to a bag and his kids. Blueface came home to an STD that he got from Snaggletooth's baby mom. I'm sorry, but man, come on. This dude got out and ran dead back to Kashia. Like I said, Kashia gotta have some pie because he ran home to her. He's supposed to be done. That dude ain't even go home to his wife or his baby mom, whatever. I don't know if he married to her or whatever, but that dude went right to Krishan. That boy had to pop that he on the stream with DDG. I see he put in the work with the music and everything, but dude, he not being celebrated like that. I think that's the only person who really celebrated Blueface. He do a 20v1. She do a 21. Yeah, Blueface. Yeah. You know, what's he say? What's he say about my one? Come on, blood. Come on, blood. That's my shot. But no, man. So, I'm just looking at the two in comparison. I want to know y'all opinion. Who do you think got the better homecoming? Who got celebrated better in this scenario between these two brothers? You know, I think it's a blessing for both of them to come home, period. But my thing is, I'm asking is, who you think had the better homecoming? Who you think has been set up in a position to win? Told you I'm gonna give you my opinion. I just explained to you the two differences, right? Max came home to a bag. Blueface came home to a STD. He got gonorrhea, some shit from Chris. Let me stop. I don't know. I don't want to do that. I'm just playing. Scratches that you got. But you can see the difference between set up and failure. And then you got his homie, right? His manager, Paru, on Paru. That's my homie. not an old nigga. He's goofy too. He gonna probably be my next candidate for Goofy of the moment. He gonna do something in the next week that's gonna probably earn him that title. But anyway, whack, wiggity, 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 whack. 100 done. What's going on with my chair, man? My chair going hucklebuck. It's the best of them. But anyway, whack 100, man. He out here trying to tarnish Max, which I think is gonna work. Cause like I said, Max is knowing that too, and Max said what he said. He took the plea. He played out to his case. People could say that snitching or whatever. He admitted to the crime. If that hurt his brother, his homie, whatever. Dude, you stay trying to fight this situation, saying what you didn't do. When they got you dead direct. I'm not for to say and I don't think Max cared, which I applaud him for it. But like I said, I do it. But Wack is working so hard to try and tarnish this man's name because he knew that Blueface was coming home around the same time as Max, and he knew that when Max came home, because I think Blueface got out first, it was gonna kill Blueface's momentum, which is gonna hurt his paper, right? Because he's his manager. That's his money. He was anticipating Blueface's homecoming to be huge, so that where he can capitalize off it, right? But that's not gonna happen now because the wave god came home, yo. So how do I stop that? Let me throw this story out here about Max B corroborating, right? When that paperwork or story that he's trying to come up with has been public knowledge and has been out for 9 years, back when Max took his plea and gave him back to 59 years, right? Or 50-something years. That story was leaked in. It didn't do nothing. He's trying to bring it back out with 1090 Jake and all that. We expose us. And, you know what I'm saying? And we don't play. Like, come on, man. Nobody cares about that way. Your time is running out too. Those 15 minutes, you on your 14 and a half minute. Time is running out. Your 15 minutes of fame is slowly ticking away, buddy. And you trying hard to hang on. It's not gonna work. But anyway, I believe Max B had a better, this is my opinion, he got a better setup to succeed than Blueface do. Not to say that Blueface won't succeed in whatever way he can, but I don't think that he's been set up or put in a position to come home to actually win. I think that he looked like he may be on his way to crashing out. I'm sorry to say it, you guys, but I gotta be real. It just looked like, you know, he's close to possibly crashing out. I don't hope that for the brother. I really do want to see everybody succeed, you know. As much as I crack jokes and all that on this show, it's satire, you guys, you know. I do not have any ill feelings towards no one. I just speak my mind on what I feel. I'm just giving my opinion on the things that I see. But I truly want the best for everybody. And I want the best for their brother. I just don't see it. It does not look like they have him in a position to win. Like his mom, first day, she already was back on the internet with her trolling and saying certain things. And she got a problem with Kashawn and somebody else and this girl or that girl. And I would say this: peace and chicken grease. No, bullshit. But anyway, peace, you guys. I'm out. This has been another episode of Inskee's Opinion. A show about everything, nothing at all. So I want you guys to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you can catch these next episodes that I'm gonna be shooting out at you. Coming straight at you. Peace.